Hey, welcome back to the channel, man. Go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and let me know where y'all from and who you rocking with. So, hey, Young Dolph was in New York. He could have talked to Jay-Z if he really wanted to about everything because he was with Big Moochie Grape. They was doing the music video for his whole B.I.G. Notorious song, and they came back to Memphis, and then everything happened the next 3 days right after that when they were supposed to do the turkey drives and everything like that. But Yo Gotti had to release Black Youngster because they already looking at him, man. And the fact that he already playing the role. He calls himself the black sheep and everything. That's the character that he wanted to have everything look like. So they can't backtrack on everything right now. And that's exactly what Key Glock was saying. Like, y'all can't just do that and then try to backtrack on it and whatever like that. And so that's why you gotta understand that a lot of people was looking at Big Moochie Grape like wondering if he was gonna do anything about how his chains got taken and what was gonna happen about him coming back with Dolph and everything. And when he did that interview, he was having a funny time answering those questions because it looked like Big Moochie Grape was onto something because he was off something, or like he had known a lot more than what he was really talking about because of the fact that the lady asked specific simple questions and he kept itching and scratching, looking away and using his phone and just like lowering his voice and not looking at her in the eye contact and everything. Anybody that knows anything is that when people are acting a certain type of way, when you ask them the question like that, then it means that they hiding something or that they know more than what it is. And so that's why a lot of people was looking at Big Moochie Grape like, okay, what really happened that day? Because you was with Dolph right before this and y'all came back. So was there anything at all? Did somebody say something, or did you know if something was going to happen, or if anybody said they were going to slide or make him check in or whatever? And so that's why you got to understand that now when they offered Dolph that 22 mil, and then now with everything coming back up, like they still trying to get that for 22 mil. So what you got to understand is that Yo Gotti and Big Jook, they know that Big Jook had to go in there. And so Yo Gotti told Big Jook what he should and shouldn't say. At the end of the day, he told him, hey, don't say nothing about me, man. And so Big Jook knew that coming in. That's why he was really saying like, okay, look at Black Youngster and Shondell, because Shondell got caught with straight drop in the getaway car and everything like that. And when Yo Gotti's limo driver, everything about that, whoever was driving the Bentley that day, the limo driver of that Bentley is going to come back and they're going to talk to him too, because the RICO gets everybody. They talk to every single person. Don't be surprised if they even get the valet drivers from Privé Restaurant so that they can have them identify the third person that they just got yesterday. And so it's more to it than everything that they were saying. And what you got to realize is that all of Memphis really knows, because they already was rocking with Dolph, and Dolph was leading Memphis in a certain type of way. And so that's what a lot of people, even when people just got out and they came back, they was interviewing rappers and asking them about Dolph, and they all was agreeing. And so basically everybody at this point knows that Makita's Raven and them, the cookie shop and them, they had to move to the downtown location. There was no option of opening up the one back at the Airways. It can't happen because it's way too much that's going on. And the fact that they can't even, if they try to sell the Dolph cookies there, then you think Trula and Double R are going to just sit there and let them do that? And so that's why you got to understand, man, because Dolph had real people behind him like Jay Fizzle, Key Glock, a lot of people, Grove Hero. So Jay Fizzle was really one of the biggest ones that was going to be right there to right. If he would have called Jay Fizzle instead of calling Snoop Bands, things would have been completely different. You gotta hear that again. If he would have called Jay Fizzle, it would have been completely different, because Jay Fizzle had already been through things where Dolph had to get him out of the situations. And so they already know that if he need him for anything and makes one call, he's going to be right there. But eventually he ended up calling Snoop Bands, and look how that turned out. Snoop Bands didn't answer. He's getting a haircut. But when you seen the video of him getting a haircut, he's on his phone the whole entire time. So how did he miss the call? He said his hands was under the drapes of the curtains of the barber that's doing the thing that they put on you. And so, but then when we go back and look at the video of him actually getting the cut, it was really not even a cut. It was a lineup. he lined up because everybody knows Snoop Bands has a high top fade like the dude from the House Party movie. And so all he does is get lineups, and he has his hands above the drapes and curtains with his phone in his hand. So there's no way that he should have missed that call from Dolph. And that's why everyone was like, okay, why is Big Moochie Grape saying it and doing this in this interview and it looks weird? Why is Snoop Band saying this in the interview and it look weird too? And he won't show the missed call. He won't show the text about coming to the music video and stuff. And that's maybe because they won't let him, because they had to turn that all into T-Mobile because they subpoenaed it. But at the end of the day, it's basically like that's made it start off funny, because that means everybody who he was with Big Moochie Grape and who was communicating with Snoop Bands basically folded under pressure and wasn't right there to clean up the situation and make it so that the worst case scenario didn't happen. And so that's why he should have called Jay Fizzle instead and Key Glock instead, because Key Glock and Jay Fizzle would have been right there. And Big Moochie Grape and Snoop Bands was too busy doing whatever they was doing. But at the end of the day, they still rock with Dolph. And it's like, it's not their fault, because it's the other dudes who actually went and did the whole actions and pulled the hammer out at the whole cookie shop. And so with all that, it's like there's no way that they could open the cookie shop at Airways again, because you already see what happened when they put up all the pictures and they put the flowers for Dolph and everything, and somebody came and literally tried to like rip it all off. And then they did the same thing where they painted over the mural and everything like that. And so it was people out there that was going to be either hating whether it was something to honor him or whether they put the cookie shop back as a regular business again. People would have came in and gave him all types of attitude just due to the fact that it was all unquestionable things going on and stuff. And so like it's still like people who's trying to get justice for Dolph due to the fact that they advocating out there in Memphis. Like they got to be out here, you know, making sure that people is looking under every rock and looking at all the clues under a microscope and making sure that they find anything that if Dolph's phone or wallet was thrown away in the dumpster and set on fire, they got to find that and find the clues. They got to find the trails of anything in the bushes leading up behind that Family Dollar around the corner. They got to check that side door and see, does anybody have a spare key to that side door? Because now that side door, when you look at it in the pictures on the map, the side door isn't there. The side door must have got installed when they did the cameras and everything. How do you think them people got through when they came and hit the cookie shop for the register 2 weeks before the Dolph thing, and they supposedly had just got 4K cameras installed right after that? So they had to come in through that side door or that back door. Somebody either got a spare key or it don't lock all the way, because it could have been a situation where the wood had rotted and it chipped away, and it's like the lock is exposed. You could basically take the deadbolt and push it over with your finger or something like that. And a lot of people be using credit cards anyways and IDs and stuff to push that back if it's not a dual switch lock. And so what y'all got to understand is that it was a whole lot of flaws and everything that could have played a role in all of this. And so it's basically a revolving door situation, and people just got to open their eyes and look at the facts of what's really going on, because everybody in Memphis and in Dolph land, they know what's up, and that's why they out there still marching and trying to get everybody to be on support and be on the same page, because they trying to take Memphis and put it back on the positive route, put it back on the trajectory that it needs to be, that Dolph was trying to make happen out there. And you know, they basically took a lot of the soul from that, and the thing about, you know, he was one of the OGs out there. And so a lot of Dolph's OGs and people who he was rocking with and stuff like that, his partners, is coming out of the woodworks, coming out of retirement, and they ready to go and do what needs to be done as far as letting everybody know that it's still his town and that he's the one that was basically setting up the whole picture of what the next 10 years is going to look like for them, and all the people he was going to put on, the businesses he was going to have and whatnot. And so what y'all got to understand is you need to subscribe to the channel, like this video. I'm going to catch y'all later. Peace.